Welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing good tonight. Is New Marshall in town yet here? So I've got some copper rounds I picked up. Good evening. Got Jim Thompson, VMC, KJ, JC likes Pam. Who else am I missing? I think that's everybody that's in there at the moment. So we're going to do a little bit of the usual Galway, but I'm going to do this guessing game again. These are the different ones that I've got cold in the fridge, and I've already got one out, so can't cheat. New Marshall, hello. You are here. So you guys go ahead and pick which one you think I've got tonight. The other night it was Barks 0, so it might be the same, it might be different. And after everybody kind of guesses, it will be a pick of a copper round. I just kind of did kind of a grab bag. It was just whatever they got sent to me. Evening, Michael Erickson. Doing a guessing game for a copper round for a giveaway to begin. So put what you think I'm drinking, and if you win, you get a copper round. And obviously, if more than one person chooses what, someone else has already had one, that's fine. If everybody chose the same and everybody was right, everybody gets one. So it looks like so far we got Sprite 0, Black Cherry, Dr. Pepper, Fresca Black Cherry. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink. I used to. I was kind of a partier back in the days. Diet Mountain Dew, I got Spark. I don't have any regular Diet Dew. Actually, Dew Zero. Although I like Diet Dew better than Dew Zero a little bit. But it's one of those things, I like Coke Zero better than Diet Coke. I'm not fond of Diet Coke, but I don't mind Coke Zero. But I prefer Pepsi products usually more. But it's basically whatever's on sale, and then I get a mixture of them. So I've got my vertical one open too. I doubt many people are in the vertical, it looks like. I get a lot of people that pass through, so it helps with my views and watch hours, but I don't really ever get many people that chat and stuff in there. So I think all regular people that ever go to the streams, Pa, Southern Metals, Rob's, all those, like the horizontal usually. Root beer, then A&W, so I do have both, Barks 0 and A&W 0, but A&W is not cold, so it's not in my fridge, so it is not on my list. These are only my cold ones. Oh, I remember Mellow Yellow. Just make sure you got Sprite, Black Cherry, Dr. Pepper, Black Cherry Fresca, Mountain Dew. Welcome, Shot Haha in vertical. So far, no one has guessed it. So we can do a round 2 to see who can guess it. So we know that one's out. That one's out. That one's out. And that one's out. I am 46. Shot haha. And I'll give you a different hint. There is no caffeine in it. Which means that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and that one are out. So you're down to cherry, orange, bark, Sprite, Fresca, and Fresca. But the one is gone, so. Welcome, whatever that is. It looks like Russian to me in the short. Vertical. Unfortunately, I'm not a Russian speaker. It's Adam. My real name. So round 2, we got Fresca, Fresca, Barks, Fresca. Yeah, I didn't think about saying, hey, it's right down here. Anybody? Okay. Yep. So I am Adam. Growing up, when I was in high school and that, my nickname was Big A, because at one point there was 3 Adams that worked together. I was the Big Adam, so I was Big A. There was a Little Adam, and then just Adam. So that was it. There was Adam, Little Adam, Big A. That's me. So anyway. Alright, let's see. Anybody got it? Fresca, Fresca, Barks, Fresca. Fresca Orange Zero. There is no such thing as Fresca Orange Zero that I have. I have Fresca Peach or Fanta Zero. Yeah, I've got a little ways up on you, shot haha. I'm going to be hunting some coins. So right now I'm just kind of getting started with a little guessing game. So on JC, is it Fresca Peach or Fanta Orange? So I'm going to end the guessing. Fanta, all right. Well, it looks like 2 of you have won. Shannon Smith and JC Likes Pam. That is my drink tonight. So send me an email at dadhuntscoins@gmail.com. Shannon, I saw you had orange first, so I've got some rounds that we will choose from. Pull them up and put them on here so we have a better look at them. So Shannon, you get to pick first. I've got a Trump Pence, Don't Tread on Me. I've got 2 of these Donald Trumps. I've got Planes and Tanks, Safety in Numbers. I have, it looks like some bears. Tiger, Year of the Tiger, I believe it is. Apollo 11, We the People, and Home of the Free Because of the Brave. And it's, oh. And these are the backs of those. So that one there, Shannon, let me get that for you. And then the other one, JC. Apollo 11. Is it? There it is. Shot haha. I've had my face on some of my recap videos on my channel. So if you go back and watch some of those videos, then you'll see my face. Alright, now we're going to get the coins for New Marshall. These are the buffalo nickels that I'm going to get out. We got 2 of these. Make sure we get different ears. So this one is, bring it down a little bit, a 1937. Looks like a filly. This one's a filly, and it is a 1935. So 2 different buffaloes. Let's grab the next thing. It will be the AU War Nickel. Just going to grab it by the edge, so I don't have my gloves on. And I am going to flip this up for you. Just because it's AU, I just want to kind of keep it nicer. So this AU is a 1943. No, the plastic comes through very well. And it is a Philadelphia. Okay. Next will be a Liberty Head V nickel. First one that comes out is a 1906. And then we have a regular war nickel. These are like $2.50 in silver. And the circulated war nickel is a 43. If it's a P, I will get you a different one if you would like. It is. Would you like to switch that out since you already have a 43P AU? If you do, let me know. A new? No? Okay. I was going to say, because I got plenty. I was going to say, in fact, the next one I pulled out is a 43P also. Well, I'm sure I have more different ones in there, just whatever they happen to come in. So, okay. So there's that. 2 buffaloes, the V nickel, and the regular war nickel. Yeah, silver, silver. I like silver. Alright, am I forgetting anything else? Oh, I do have your sticker. And I owe you a round from the other night. So let's bring those back. I don't know if you remember which ones were out or not. But we will pull them back out and show you again. So I've got Donald Trump. I swear there was another one, but maybe not. Don't Tread on Me, with an eagle on the eagle on the back. Donald Trump's got an eagle on the back. This one here, it is the American flag, and on the front it is Home of the Free because of the brave. Awesome. Alright, so I've got that. And that was from Thursday. Or Monday, sorry. Get some of my stuff moved off to the side here. JC wanted Home of the Brave. I thought JC wanted the Apollo 11. Which one was it, JC? Was it Apollo 11 you wanted or Home of the Brave? Because I did drop them, so I don't know, can't remember which one is which. So JC's getting the Home of the Brave and you're taking Apollo 11? And I might have a couple different ones if those aren't of interest. Okay. So JC's got that. You'll take Apollo 11. Okay. Sorry about that mix up. I hear thunder and power did flicker earlier, so hopefully it doesn't cause problems. Alright. And if I mess it up, you can always email me, I'll make it right. You know, it's one of those that doesn't matter to me which one gets which, and if I have duplicates or something similar, you know, I'll always try to do that. Okay, we're going to open this. Hopefully, we'll have some kind of ender. I've never had a Buffalo or V ender or War Nickel. My first box I ever opened, I did have a V and a Buffalo. Yeah, just email me, we'll figure it out. Oh, we got a nasty, dirty one there. It's a newer one. Got a few older ones that have some good possibilities of being older. I know that one looks old. So we're going to crack into it and see what we have. If you need to get my attention, no, the other stream I have is the horizontal live. Renee and me. Hopefully I said that right. The vertical light, oh, there's a dark one. I doubt it's a War Nickel, but we'll just check. Nope. It's 1986. Sometimes those darker ones, it's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be, but it's one of those, it's always easier to just kind of check it and see than not. Hopefully that is all good. So we're going to be looking for, of course, anything foreigns, key dates, semi-key dates, Buffaloes, V-Nickels, any like errors, varieties. Some of those, like on Monday, I scoped all the pennies after the stream. It took me like an hour and a half, and I finished that up the next night. So it's one of those that I didn't find anything, but I'm not the best at it either, for pennies anyway. $23. I've only found a handful of 20, not even a handful of 24s. I've only found, I think 3 2024s. So hopefully we will find more stuff tonight. It's one of those that working stuff, people go, don't you wish you could keep it if you opened it and someone pulled something cool? Well, Michael, the reason I don't have memberships is because I do not have the watchtowers yet. You have to have 3,000 watchtowers, and I'm right at 600 because I only started doing live streams a month ago. So before that, it was just video hours, like watching the recap videos. So each of these is, my first one was like 15 hours worth of streaming in that hour and a half. The one on Monday gave me about 40 hours. So it's picking up. So I don't have memberships yet. I will, hopefully down the road soon. No problem. It's these live streams that is really where you get the hours from, because you get, 10 viewers in here, and yeah, I've got a playlist of all the live streams. So I've got them broken down into live streams, and then like $half hunts, quarter hunts, and then if I find like varieties and DDOs and stuff, I have one of that. But as I said, I found a V nickel and buffalo nickels and more nickels, 2024s, 2009s. So I found a 1950D. So I've pretty much found everything. But it's one of those that, like I was telling them, I would rather have you guys find it so that you guys are happy with the hunts. If you feel that your hunt was not great, just let me know. Like I said, we will make it right. Whether it's, adding copper round, Indian head penny. I think what I'm going to start doing is offering either pack. So if you get a nickel box and you want a penny pack, or if you get a penny box and you want the nickel pack or whatever, I'm thinking doing it that way too. 64D, I'm going to put this off to the side so we can scope it later. Otherwise, I'll be moving back and forth all night. Oh, there's our first. $1947. That's your first one from the 40s. And mint mark is, I think that's an S. Actually, let's just go to the scope and find out. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yep, 47S, so that is your first find in roll one. And we got a second find, and it was the ender. 1957. I think it was just discolored. And that one is a D, so 57D. So you got a 40 and a 50 out of that first roll. I always forget about looking at like delaminations and stuff, so I'll have to remember to put that down to look for them. Well, you got one with blue edge paint on it. Hopefully that's a lucky one, maybe. Ooh. Don't know if you heard that. 2023. Went to my bank, and they actually ended up getting halves this week. I don't know why they've kind of gotten off schedule, because they used to only get them every other week. Yeah, if you heard that, that was right outside, so we would gladly take any rain. We live in the middle of the desert, high desert. I live in southern Utah, so it's one of those that Lake Powell is an hour from us. Grand Canyon North Rim is an hour and a half or so from us, an hour from us. Zion's National Park is an hour from us. Bryce Canyon is about an hour, hour and a half from us. Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument is about an hour from us. So we're like right in the middle of everything. That's a D. And like there's a 75, but you can obviously see that mint mark is below, so that is not the high mint mark. Southern Idaho. I was watching B. Waller 76 last night. He's in, I I think Kuna, Idaho. And his channel, he does some coin hunts. He does auto racing. He puts a camera inside his car and when he races. He does metal pours. So B Waller 76, if you want to check out some of that stuff. I came across him one day and I've enjoyed his channel. Hey Shelbell, welcome. First roll, we found a 47 and a 57. You can always type exclamation me. It will promote your channel if you stream content or anything. So basically everything the same as in Pause, Southern Metals, Walker Magnets, all those, you know, with the games. You got slots, gamble, duel, go on a hunt or whatever that one was. Used to be Waller. My brother has some property up in northeastern Washington, and so he's up further, but it's like up in the corner by Washington, Idaho, and Canada. Kettle Falls area, if you know that. They just had a forest fire go through. He has about 60 acres up there, and it burnt about 20 acres of his land, but it was all the basically shrub and granite that didn't really matter. And the funny thing was the fire marshal had called and got a hold of me, and he was like, "Is this Matt?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Oh, I'm, you know, the fire marshal or whatever," and was saying he was, "Oh, look at that." I'm gonna shut up for a minute. We have got a buffalo, first buffalo of the night. I am not seeing a date. Let's see if there's a mint mark. Not seeing a mint mark. Let's just go to the scope. Just see if by chance we can pull anything. Oh, we do. That to me looks like a 1919. Does everybody agree with that? I would say a 1919 is barely legible. There you go. That does not look like a 2 to me. It does look like a 1 in my opinion. So a 1919 Philly. Very good. Congratulations. That is a sweet find. This might be a good box with only in the 3rd roll now. So anyway, the guy called me. See, that's what I like, is hunting coins and finding good stuff. Even if it's someone else's, it's still fun to find for them. But I was like, no, he has a different phone. I don't know why they got my phone number. We're both Casper, Wyoming area code 307. So I said, here's his number. I said, he is on the road a lot, so you may not be able to reach him. There's another D. We're going to set off to the side for scoping. So I texted my brother and I said, this guy is going to call you about a fire on your property, and they're going to make some fire lines and going to get a hold of you. So he ended up getting a hold, and the guy wanted to see if they could move he's got like a backhoe with a, you know, backhoe dump truck thing. Hey Gatita, you're in the short stream, short live. You just missed this one, and it is dated. It is barely there, but it is a 1919. So good to see. I was just telling him the one lives in southern Idaho, and I was telling him I was watching B Waller 76, and you were in their stream also, I believe. Yeah, I do a dual vertical live and the horizontal live. The horizontal live is where most people that are kind of regular, watchers and stuff tend to go. Vertical live tends to get more of the people that are scrolling through. They might jump in for a minute or two, but it helps with watching hours. Hey, awesome. So I do find a ton of 64s, so that's why I'm going to scope them all at the end. Otherwise, I'll be back and forth. Like I said, if we get something like that buffalo, I will pop over on the scope. If you do not have points, just tag me and you can add some. And I got plenty you can have. So my brother, he's on the road all the time. He works on like Broadway plays, the ones that travel. So Hamilton, he did that for 8 years or something like that. The tour he was on ended up shutting down. There's still another one going on, but he was going to go up to his cabin or his property. His Streamlabs not working. Give me just a second. Alright, see if that's working now. I do see a couple that didn't have any points, so I'm just adding some points to those. Still nothing? Try one more thing. Hopefully it'll work. Make sure it's turned on. Alright, it says CloudBot is active. So I went through a different way. Hopefully it'll work now. Because exclamation me, exclamation heist, all those should work. It was working when I had it being set up, so I don't know why it would quit. Well, maybe we'll have to do the old-fashioned way when it comes to a giveaway. Alright, so I just turned the CloudBot off and back on, turn that off and on again. Sometimes that works. Of course, I don't want to kill the whole stream, so I'm just being careful not to close those windows. And if it doesn't work, I apologize. It was working earlier when I was getting everything set up. It was turned on. Sometimes it's those glitches that just don't like to happen. Yeah, it's weird because it shows people are in it. Oh, it just turned off again. What the heck? Yeah, it's probably a glitch in the matrix. That's what I'm hoping it's not. If you came in late, I had some thunder. The lights were flicking earlier, so hoping it doesn't crash. Hey, Crafty, you're in the vertical. I do have my horizontal going also. So if you want to pop on over there, if you like that better. We have got in our third roll, there was a 1919 Indian, Crafty. It is dated. So far it's been a pretty good box. We're on roll 6. It hasn't had anything for a bit. I do the vertical and the horizontal just because some people end up finding it in the verticals. But like for me, I like watching it in horizontals. Yeah, it is a legible date. I thought it wasn't going to be, but we put it under the scope and it's got a 1 and a 9 on that. And everybody was in consensus, it looked like. Oh, there's another find. This one might be a very good box. We're going to have to make C. Hey, there you are, Crafty. So, 1948. We're going to hope that it is a S. If it's a 48S, it will be a semi-key date. Got some damage to it, but still, let's find out. It's got a mint mark, and it's a D. We're just going to double check. Yep. Well, a 48D, so it's not the semi-key date, but now you got a 47 and a 48. Yeah, I wish my cloud bot was working, but it doesn't look like it is. For the games, I had it set up that you can hit !me, but it looks like that's not working. I think you can put your handle in, youtube.com/ and then your handle, and you might see if that works and throws up your link. I don't think I've set up so that YouTube ones and stuff or emails don't go through. I know sometimes they get blocked. Got a nasty one here. No idea what that is. Looks like some kind of damage, and just out of curiosity, can we even find a date? Oh, looks like a 1999, so, well, if you want the really crappy one, New Marshall, I'll give it to you. I doubt you do. But something like that, I'll give it to you. Gotcha. I didn't think so. Sometimes those ones like that are just interesting. They're like, got a slick one, but another one from the 40s. You're the Mr. 40 tonight. A 46. So now we got a 46, a 47, and a 48. This one's a 46 Philly. And I hear rain on my window. Another one. You need to change your name from New Marshall in Town to Old 40s in your box. 1946 it looks like. Out of Philly. So you got 4 40s now. Yeah, we will take the rain. The one problem is it likes to dump for like 10 minutes straight and then quit. And so we get, you know, flash floods and things, and that doesn't help with the moisture to stick around because it just all runs right down. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to be streaming on Monday and probably Thursday nights. I do have boxes available, both penny and nickel. I've got those options in the description. I am in southern Utah. It's literally 3 or 4, I think it's 4 miles from the Arizona border. So if you go all the way down to the south, you got the north rim of the Grand Canyon is closed because of the fires. Burnt down the lodge and everything. But I'm about an hour and a half from there, an hour from Zion, an hour and a half from Bryce Canyon, an hour from Lake Powell, and about an hour from Grand Staircase, Escalante Grand Staircase, whatever it's called. I am in a little town called Kanab, and they call it the heart of the parks. So nearest Walmart in either direction, east or west, is an hour away. What's funny is I live in Utah, and Las Vegas is actually closer than Salt Lake City. To get to Salt Lake, it's about 5 hours. To get to Vegas, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours. So a lot of times, you know, tourists or whatever, foreign people, will fly into Salt Lake and they don't realize that Vegas is, number one, usually cheaper, and number two, closer, because they're looking at Utah. We do have a very small airport here, but it's like for, you know, private planes, like small jets. We've had like some movie stars come in because they stay at a place called Amangiri. It's like $3,000-$4,000 a night. But they usually end up flying into Page, which is right next to Lake Powell and a lot closer to where they stay. So we do have like life flight that comes in for the jet. So we do have the airport there, but it is not like a big commercial jet, you know, big jets. It's nice kind of being in the middle of nowhere. We actually don't have a helicopter for the hospital. We call, there's Intermountain, which is where the trauma center is. That's Intermountain Life Flight, and they fly in from St. George. And there's also Classic, and they come in from Page. So the one from St. George is a little bit bigger helicopter. I know from when I call for a life flight, I'm sure everybody knows, but I work in the emergency room on the weekends doing the paperwork stuff. That's what my position used to be before I took the one I'm at in the accounting office. And I know from when I call for a life flight, it will be 10 minutes to get the helicopter started up, and then it's a 25-minute flight. So I know from when they say okay, it's 35 minutes. The other night was crazy. We ended up having 2 helicopters at the exact same time on our pad. They don't like doing that, but we do have it so that one can land in one corner and the other one can land in the other corner. It's very cramped when it does that. So what is that? Is that, as I say, I know it's Kitty Hawk. I can't remember the name of the town, but I know it's in, what, North Carolina, I believe. It's one of those I couldn't tell the name of the town, but at least I remember the name of the plane. Lots of 64s, like I said. Got a stack of them to scope at the end. I have come across some proofs before. I don't think I've come across the silver Canadian one, but I have come across, I don't even know if they make silver Canadian nickels, but yeah, I wouldn't remember that. Sometimes I am full of useless information. My problem is I cannot sleep at night. I can take multiple different types of sleeping pills and it still doesn't do much. So I can take one and 2 hours later I'm still wide awake. I take a second one. An hour and a half after that I'm still wide awake. And it's not even because I'm drinking caffeine or anything. Enoch. If that's the one by Cedar City. Hey, Riley Hunt's Coins, you're in the vertical, it looks like. I do have the horizontal going also, if you want to pop over there. That's where most people are at. A 44S war nickel and a buffalo on the last nickel hunt. Decided not to stream it though. Hey, we found a buffalo tonight. 1919, it's barely there, but it's legible. I think it's Enoch, over by Cedar City. It's about an hour and a half away. You go over the mountain or down to St. George and up. So it's about, I usually say about an hour and a half. I do both the vertical and the horizontal so that a lot of people find you in the vertical and then they'll look it up and find the horizontal, whereas the horizontal doesn't pop up all the time for everybody. I know for me, I'll be streaming through and I'll be like, oh, you know, whoever is on, you know, pause on or whatever. And, you know, a notification never comes through or anything. Two in one roll. That is nice. I've not ever had 2 in 1 roll. I don't sleepwalk or sleep talk or anything like that. In fact, I can have, like I said, multiple sleeping pills and be wide awake. Like if I get woken up, I am like wide awake. So I don't even take them when I'm on call because that's pointless. We finally got our second from the 50s, in 1953, out of Denver. So the 40s are up 2-1, well 4-2, same thing. Yeah, my first box I ever opened when I started doing video recaps is when I started hunting those, and my first box I ever opened had a V nickel, excuse me, and a buffalo nickel. I was hoping for a war nickel for the trifecta, but that was not going to happen. St. George is growing. It's I think there's another from the 50s, another 53. Add a filly. I think it's ranked 3rd in the nation in growth, if I remember right. Even in the last, I've been here not quite 15 years in Kanab, and it's grown. I mean, Kanab's grown a bit, but St. George has really grown. Luckily, they have a bigger airport in St. George, so they have like SkyWest and some of those bigger planes, usually more of the regional ones. But it used to be you'd go down to Las Vegas because it was so much cheaper, and now a lot of times you can get a flight out of St. George for not much more. And when you consider the fact you either have to drive to Las Vegas or park and take a shuttle down, which is what most people do, because it's free parking there at the shuttle, and you don't have to pay for parking at the airport in that case. And by the time you factor in all that, it's not much difference now. So the problem with me is if I want to get to anywhere, it's hours of driving. Like I've tried to get to the Tulsa Coin Show, to meet up with everybody and see Pawn and everybody that goes to that. But everything always just ends up coming up at the wrong time and never have ended up getting to it. So I'm figuring I will just have to set up the time and go down. Yeah, I've only ever found one V. Oh, that is horrible. I'm still not finding very many 2024s. Like I said, I've only found, I think, 3 or so this year. So unfortunately, I'm not expecting any. I would love it, but it's kind of weird because you'll see other channels like like Rob and stuff. He'll search boxes and boxes, and he'll get 5 Nifsies. He'll get 3 Nifsies. I open a box and I'm averaging 18. Actually, it's down to like 17.8 now, but basically 18 Nifsi average per box. I had one that I've uploaded that will be for in my rotation that'll be coming up to automatically post, and that was 100 and something Nifsies out of 2 boxes. I had 80 in 1 box. Ooh, 333 V-nickels, very nice. Hopefully there were some older ones and good ones in there. That's one thing I've tried to find is collections and things, and no one around here wants to sell it. Whoop. Got a dark one. I doubt it's one, but yeah, just an ugly toned one. Usually those I can tell from the edge are not war nickels, but I have missed them before, so I always pull them out. We're finally tied on the 40s. Or the 50s, I'm sorry. If it'll focus. 1959. And I always have to look because a lot of times that 59 or the 39 looks like 59s. And I have found 39 key date, D's or S's. I can't remember which ones, but probably both. Luckily, my coin machine or credit union has it's a Coinstar, but it is not like the big green ones. It's just in the lobby for customers to use, so they can direct deposit. So the bank really doesn't do much with that. I mean, they have to do a few minor things with it, but it's not like they are servicing it. So they don't really care if I use it. And that's where I pick up most of my regular coin from. I pick up my halves from a regular bank, but my credit union is the ones that are able to get me all my coin. Sometimes they get halves. They try to order them when they can. There's your 2009. It's 2009 that is a low mintage too, I believe. If for some reason I'm totally spacing that. I think it's 2009. Don't you hate it when sometimes you're sitting there and whatever you're thinking of, it's like, wait a minute. That's one of those I would do. I honestly cannot stand Wells Fargo. They're dishonest, and they ended up shutting down one of my accounts for basically no reason. So I said fine, I took all my money and dumped it in a credit union, and now they have all my money. The bank has some money too. I have it in between the bank and the credit union, but basically there's no Wells Fargo around here anyway. But yeah, I cannot stand that bank. Yeah, that would be the only reason to get an account there, is just to do that. Luckily, like I said, we're middle of nowhere. There is a second bank in town. I've tried to go in there to see about ordering coin, and they won't even give me the time of day. They won't, return my calls. They won't get the manager for me. And at the hospital, that's where we bank, so we have all of our money there, and I've gone in my name tag and everything. So they didn't want to do any of that, so I went down to the bank that orders me the halves. They said, yeah, we'll order them. I said, so I need, how much do I need to set up an account? They said, we'll just order them. I said, well, I'm going to set up an account. So I went and dumped a couple grand in there, and I get the halves, and I search through them, I dump them at the bank and transfer the money back. So it's one of those things that you would think that they would want to build a relationship with someone that says, hey, I'll put a bunch of money in your bank. But obviously they don't care. box started off hot, and now it's kind of slowed down. The 40s and the 50s in the first roll, and a buffalo in the third, and then nothing. Well, it's a beat up and ugly one. 1958. Yeah. I hated the 2024s. It was, I had gotten 26 straight boxes of 2024, and it's funny how many of those get rejected. The machine spits them out, and it's like, dude, these are freaking brand new, and you're spitting them out. What I think is funny is the Coinstar one, because like I said, it's not the big green one, it's just one that is in the lobby. But I've had it to where I've filled up one of those bins that they have, what is it, $500 that they can hold in it. And I've had it fill up to where it goes into the other one, and all of a sudden, clang, 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 clang. Yeah, I haven't found anything with even blank planchets, stuff like that. I've never found one of those. I was hoping out of all of those boxes I'd find at least something. But yeah, someone is in there, and of course the customers will be like, man, it sounds like slot machine. And the tellers will be like, yeah, it sounds like a casino in here sometimes. That's usually when I've come and ended up filling up one bin and they have to switch it over to the other. My bank that I get my house from, they would usually just keep them out. They wouldn't put them in the safe until if I didn't show up, but I always brought the payroll check down to deposit in that bank, and they would bring them up and put them on the counter, and then I'd just pick up all 4 of them, and they were always at first one and be like, we can help you. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Hey, Mark Lester, welcome. Yeah, luckily, when my kids are here and they like to hunt, it's one of those that, of course, I do all the picking up and dumping and all that. You never know what you're going to find. I found from 1975 to 2013 penny book. Me and my daughter had one. We'd gotten it from John Jacobs, and completely empty. And with one box, we filled everything but the 2009 Lincoln years for Philadelphia. And I've never had that even, by myself have that happen. They've gone and they'll be like, I found a weird one. I'll look at it and be like, oh, that's a whatever. I've never found one of those. Good job. Yeah, it was funny because I had it and she wanted to do pennies, and she likes doing pennies because she likes finding the Canadians. And if you've been in here before, of course you know, they're called leafies. We're always looking for Wheaties. She likes finding leafies. She gets more excited for a leafy than a Wheatie. But I was like, do you want to see how many we can fit? And she goes, sure. So she'd hand them to me as we're going along, and I just kept plugging them in and plugging them in and plugging them in, and at the end of the night, everything but the Philadelphia 2009s. I have upgraded some of them. That, like, there was one, it was the last box I hadn't found, some date that it's like you think would not be that hard, and it was like, well, this is gonna suck, but you finally find it. But there was a bunch that I've upgraded since then. Oop. Another 1959. I always have to double check on those 5s because they look like 3s from a little bit of a further back. That's a 59 Denver. There you go. Now your 50s are starting to stack up instead of your 40s. 40s came out of the box hot. Now the 50s are. So far, the penny and nickel boxes that I've offered have seemed so far pretty receptive. And it was one of those, like I said, I went out and bought, a bunch of like V nickels, war nickels, BU nickels, or pennies, Indian head pennies, stuff like that. And of course, I haven't gone through any of the rolls to see what's in there, but it's basically I just take what is ever on top, and hopefully one of these days I'll pull out some awesome thing for one of you. But if I ever pull something out that's like a double, I'll try to, of course, make sure you get a second year, the different second year. I had a bunch of those, like in my collection stuff, but I didn't feel like digging them out, and I just figured it's easier to buy a whole roll. Well, Riley, I just picked up a whole bunch of 2 centers. These are ones I offer with my penny hunts, or I'm thinking I'm going to be doing I just picked up a bunch more. Some of them are kind of slick and stuff like that, but I probably have 20 of them now. But I'm thinking I'll just offer either a penny or nickel pack, whichever one, with, instead of like pennies just for a penny box or something. I haven't auctioned anything yet. I'm kind of thinking about it, kind of going through my collection and see what extra stuff I really don't want or need. But if you want to send me an email, we can see maybe working something out. I can always send pictures of different ones I have, and luckily I got a pretty good deal on them, so they aren't super expensive. You can get cull ones on APMEX for $9, and on mine I think I got it was about $7.50, something like that. And I was pleasantly surprised, since some of them have some dates and some have full dates, and so we can work something. I wouldn't be looking to make, try to make tons of money on anything. Of course, I have to cover my night, Jim Thompson. I wish that could work for me. I was actually in the ER last weekend doing my call, and one of the visiting doctors, we were all talking, and that came up, and he was like, "Have you tried this or this?" And I'm like, "I've never heard of those two." So I'll have to see about maybe switching to one of those. When he was telling me, the way I kind of likened it was these ones, like the ambient and stuff, it's like your car's running full blast, but it's like putting your car into neutral. Your engine's still spinning and running. You're not going anywhere. And this one, it made it sound like it's more of downshifting your car and slowing your car down instead of just shoving it into neutral and letting it spin. So I was going to look at that. There's a penny. So yeah, Riley, if it's just kind of like one of my regular ones I was able to pick up for a decent price, I'd probably, if you're okay with shipping it in just a regular envelope, I can usually get away with sending that with just a stamp. So maybe like $10. Because if you bought one on AppMex, you'd have to buy and pay shipping and everything too. So, like I said, we can. Yeah, email's in the profile. It's the same as my channel. It's dadhuntscoins@gmail.com. So, if you remember my channel, it's just add a Gmail. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I've kind of got fancified. I bought myself a thermal label printer and stuff like that, and instead of having to go through and ooh, whoa. New Marshall, if you're here, would you like me to flip that one up for you? Let me grab a flip. I think I've still got one over here. Just because that's very, very nice. It's not even got scratches or anything. In fact, before we do that, few marks on his cheek. Looks like a bear clawed him, or maybe a mistress. I don't think it's going to be full steps, but partial. So that's a very nice coin. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you hanging. There you go. I've come across some of those, like I had one that was a 1939. It wasn't the key or a semi-key date, but it was like, dude, that was way nice. Yeah, I saw that pop up. So Streamlabs should be working on it. So I don't know why it's not working in one of them, but I think it's working in the vertical, but not the horizontal. I don't know why, because the horizontal is the primary one. Nickels are easier for me to hunt. Yeah, there are some channels that I watched and they just don't do it anymore, or you ever see them anymore. And I think that happens as you go down the road. You know, sometimes people either kind of retire and get out of doing it, or there's your second one, 2009. I hope it's 2009 that we're looking for. I still can't think of that right now. Oh, back to back. Another 2009, so you've got two back-to-back 2009s. That's almost 2009, except for the 9's upside down. There you go. Hopefully that helps. I just put your channel link in there. I was just listening to kind of the rain out there and got sidetracked for a second. Apologize. And it's one of those things that my first stream, I think I had 4 viewers. So it's one of those that, you know, you just start out. But you know, you don't have to do anything fancy for giveaways. I mean, it's one of those that I've won, you know, a gram of silver before. You know, 1 gram. Still cool. I've won copper rounds, and I've won, you know, bigger things like 90% Benji and Pa's going to put out a video for the AFSP. That looks like an old one, so let's see what it is. It's a Denver. 63. Nope, dang it. Sometimes the ones like that fool you. You think it's going to be in the 30s or 40s, and it's not. But he's going to put out a video, and well, thank you. I kind of do it more for me. I figure if I can hunt and people are interested in it and chat at the same time, I might as well. So with his video he is going to put out, yeah, so sometimes it seems like some of those bigger ones, like, you know, they're fun to watch. Like, for example, Rob, you know, finds treasure. I started watching him when he was like at 50,000, and I still like watching him, but it does get so many people in there and kind of so crazy, and you get drowned out. Hey, VMC, you're in the vertical, and the slots are working in the vertical for some reason. Just see if, for example, if I doubt it's going to work, but if the vertical is doing it, maybe this one will. I'm going to be streaming most likely Mondays and Thursdays about 6:30. That way it's not super late for the East Coast, you know, and because we're Mountain Time. So if I stream at 8 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock back there, and most people still have to go to work. So I figured 6:30 gives enough time for people at least to watch some of it, you know, relax or something like that. That's the one nice thing about living in Mountain Time, is if someone streams, like, you know, 9 o'clock, it's only 7 o'clock my time. Awesome. There's an email. It's one of those things that you are welcome to. VMC finally hit a slot that wins. I have not had a winner, I don't think, since I've started it. VMC got 3 sparkly hearts. So I'm figuring about 6:30 my time is a pretty good time. Not too late for back east. Not too early for Mountain or Central. A little early for the West Coast, but honestly don't know how many actually watch. It seems like most of the people we, you know, end up chatting with are like back east and Central, or even Mountain. And it's one of those things that if you do want a box, and like say you won't get off work until, you know, 8 o'clock Central, You know, I can always stream for a little bit and just kind of do some chatting stuff, and then when you get in. But I try to work with a little bit of schedule and stuff if I can. And I guess if it's one of those things that I'm able to do it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I guess I could do it if I'm awake. I try to be asleep. Like this new Marshall, he was on Monday night and said he would take a box, and so I put him on the schedule for this one. So if you want, you can always email me and see if there's an opening, or you can just say put me in the next open spot. Whatever works. Excuse me. I'm pretty flexible. I know I've done that with Paul, like where it'll be like, oh, let whoever, you know, go first. I'm in here all the time. Not a big deal. Try to make it fun. And it's one of those things that you're always, you know, harder on yourself. Like for me, it seems like I would get tired of listening to me, but there's people that are in here the whole time, and I appreciate it. My kids have wanted to live stream, but the problem is during the week they're usually at home. Retired at 19. I'm tired, not retired. You have to be tired before you can be retired. Yes, that's a dad joke. But I'm a dad, so there you go. Sometimes I can be a little bit crazy. But aren't we all? I keep kind of getting a little further down. I think when I bumped it. Still no 2024s. Come across 3 2009s, which was nice because I don't come across those very often. Come across them more often than 24s, of course. I do have 2 boxes of 2025 nickels, brand new. I'm kind of debating on what I want to do. I'm thinking maybe put one on eBay for a full box and then sell individual rolls. Because you can make more money on individual rolls, but it takes a lot more time and effort. But it's one of those, it's like, I don't know what I want to do. Yeah. Some of those I've seen people selling the, you know, new 2025 pennies or 2024 pennies or whatever, the new latest ones that have been out. And if you look at the mintage, they've made, I think, 800 million of them. So it's not like they're rare. You know, yeah, they're going to be quit making them, but when you still have hundreds of millions, it's not like, I don't know. My one bank has said that they're not going to be, as I said, do you have any extra nickels or pennies? Now that I'm doing this, you know, I like to pick up extra. And they said, we can't get any extra pennies, and they're not being able to order them, or we're not being able to order them. Hey, Captain Vic, welcome. We're starting on roll 30, or starting on roll 40. We just finished roll 39. We have a few finds. We've had a few 2009s, some 40s and 50s, and the best so far is probably that one. It looks slick, but under the scope there is a 1919 date. So it hasn't been too bad of a box. It started off hot and then kind of got cold, and then it kind of picked up and had a few 2009s there for a few times. So I've had it to where you think this is going to be a crappy box, and then halfway through, ban, and other ways it's like, oh, this is going to be an awesome box, and then halfway through it just dies. It's not, it's one that I'm going to scope, but this one here, it's a pretty nice one. I'll throw in for you. It's a 1964. Hopefully it's a D over D. That's what you scope the 64 with the Denver. So while we're sitting here, let's just see. I'm not the best at them, but I'm thinking that is just a regular D. But either way, I'm going to throw it in for you. It's one of those that I've come across a nice looking one like that from 64. I mean, if it's not uncirculated condition, it sure is almost uncirculated. Not the best at grading AUs and BUs, and I mean sometimes you can just obviously tell, but I have a bunch of coins that I would like to maybe send in to get graded, but I have no idea what the grade. I'd have to do more research and compare it to see what I would think it would get. You know, pull up images on AppMex and graded examples and see. I had a 1965 quarter that I'm pretty sure it's the DDO. I mean, it's got all the markings, all the serifs and stuff with the splits. So it's one of those that it's not the greatest condition, but I mean, even in I think a 50, like a good 45 or extra fine 45, whatever it is, I think it's still worth like $300 or something, $250. Of course, you'd love to get a higher one, but I don't think it would. But that's kind of my next goal, is kind of get used to looking at some of those and then sending them off for grading and just see how well I do. I've never sent anything in. I streamed a Penny box on Monday night for Copper Owl. I do have a playlist of like all my different coin hunt videos that I do. So like my recaps, and I've made one that is all of my live streams. So it should be in there. I have a bunch of dimes. I think I'm just going to open a bunch of dimes one night. Not probably live stream, just because I edge search dimes. They're just so small and difficult to look at. I mean, pennies are bad enough, but it's not that my eyes are really bad. It's just I don't like to sit there and, you know, I can go through them pretty quick with like pennies or nickels and half dollars. And I think it would be one of those that, because like send them in with like PCGS. I don't know about Annex or anything, but to send them in that way, you have to be, you know, a member. Well, you are welcome to. It's one of those, like I said, we can, you know, if someone's already on there or whatever, we can get you on the list. And I was like new Marshall tonight. He did one on Monday. He paid for a box and said, put me on my next stream. So that's when I said I'd be streaming on Thursday nights also. So Mondays and Thursdays. $19.58D. So some of these we will scope for, I mean, this is kind of beat up, but we will scope some of those later. I did a dime edge search the other night. It went as expected, found nothing. I have found silver dimes in rolls. I've never found silver quarters. I don't mind doing quarters. Quarters are fun. I did a quarter box one night before I started selling hunts. But the quarter box, I have never found a silver quarter. The ironic thing is I went to go take them back to the bank to dump them, and I always check the coin return before I do. And in the coin return, there was a silver quarter. So I didn't find one in my hunt, but I found one when I went to return my hunt. I've had boxes where I found a couple war nickels before. This one I haven't found anything yet. That's a dirty one. It's only 97. One of the things, like I was saying, I was watching B. Waller 76 last night, and he does guessing games. So he'll pull one like this and show you the back, and then you'll guess whatever year you think it is, and if you're on, you win. If you are closest, you win. And then he flips it, and then he slowly comes down and uncovers the date. So that's one of the things he does. It's kind of fun. Gatita was winning a ton on the guessing. I had a few that were like one off. I finally got one that was exact spot on. But it seems like I'm either right there or way off. Not like 5 or 6 off, but like 15 or 20 off. But that's a cool channel. He does, like I said, race car driving. He has a GoPro that he mounts inside of his car, or camera inside of his car or something. And when he races, he live streams it. And he'll be racing, I think, Saturday. I'll be doing a video on his upcoming streams, the AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I am helping with that. With, like last year, if you spend or donate like $500, you'll get a, you know, so many box hunts and stuff and things like that from people. And I have offered, if someone donates $500 or more, I will do a free penny or nickel box search, including the guaranteed coin pack of their choice. So I know this year it's harder for people because it's not as easy to have extra money just laying around. Oh, what do you think? Yes or no? It's a 1942. I'm going to put it this way. I haven't looked. It's the end one. So from the edge, I would say no. And it's not. It's just a 42. But there you go. That's a 1942. When I come across them like that, it's like, ooh, let me put the edge up so I can see it again, and then I'll look and I'll be like, well, I didn't catch it from the edge, so if it is, it sure is a faker or a hider. And I've had some where it's like, this is going to be silver, and then you plop it over and it's not. I was hoping to be silver because then we would have had a buffalo and a silver in the roll or a box. But that's why it's hunting. If you want to coin find, you go to a coin shop or search online. But the hunting is the fun of it. Oh, I didn't even think about looking at that, so let me grab it and we'll find out. I think it was a D. It is a D. I thought I saw a D, but I couldn't remember if that was that one or if it was something else I looked at. So 42 Denver. There's the next one from the 50s, a 1954. Out of Philly. Alright, now we got 9 from the 50s and 5 from the 40s. 3 2009s, a buffalo, and a couple very nice shiners. And it's one of those things on like the war nickels and stuff, if you have a certain year or something. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. I haven't been on the Discord for a long time. I'll see them things pop up, but I just get so busy, and then by the time I remember about it, I've forgotten. But like on Indian heads or, you know, the BUs and things like that, for like the pennies or, you know, the war nickels, if there are certain ones you're looking for when you go to do a box, just let me know and I'll try my best to find one. For mine, I just pull them whatever's off the top of the tube. So I got, you know, tubes and stuff from MapMix, so I had plenty. And like I said, I haven't gone through them. I just, whatever is in the tube. And it seems like, of course, they say they're going to be, you know, these certain years or whatever. But it seems like they're always the generic ones, which you kind of expect. One of these times you might pull one out and be like, oh, I just found a, you know, key date or something. because they don't guarantee any dates. They just say it's average circulation. When 1885 O Morgan, not too long ago, was a giveaway. That's a nice giveaway. It's in a pretty rough circulating condition, but that's okay. In that condition, it's still valued at $63 due to less than 10 mil being minted. Well, the funny thing is I was actually looking at how much a Morganer piece would sell for worth in silver value. And there's another nice 1964. If you want, it's got a little bit of toning. It's not like horrible toning. It's like kind of a very, very light golden one. I'll throw that in with your stuff. But yeah, it's like, I think $37 or $43 or something in melt value. It's like crap. Ow. Finally came across another one from the 40s. It's a 1940. Out of Philly. My highest one that I have is I bought from an auction on Paw's channel years ago. I think it's an MS65. I can't remember the Morgan, but it's like an 1880 something. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working in that one. It looks like it's working in the vertical, but I don't know why, because I don't know. But yeah, it's like an MS65 and from somewhere in the 50s. And haven't hey, Copper Owl, I sent your package out. It's funny because it says it wasn't scanned until it says I made the label up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't. This is our best find for tonight so far. Copper Owl, a 1919. It is dated. Not sure if which ones are key dates and stuff, or mintages and things on the buffaloes, just because I don't ever come across them that often to remember. So hopefully you should get that in the next couple days. I think it is scheduled for tomorrow or the 27th, Saturday. I can't remember. Yeah, it's funny how he prints a label and it says it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, it wasn't 4 o'clock in the morning. Because it took that extra day to go through that whole pile of like DDOs and stuff candidates. Because I wanted to make sure I went through them very well. Hoping to find you something, but Pennies honestly is not my forte, I'll be honest. In my area, I come across a ton of Denvers. I don't find, like a lot of them, you're looking for a filly. In this area, you don't find the fillies. Nickels for me are easier just because I can remember them, and there's not so many in the later years that are always different ones that you're looking for with all the different wide AMs and stuff like that, because it's hard to remember which year is wide and which year is close, and still fun to go through. It's not as easy to remember compared to nickels. I don't think your box was a horrible box. You had one from the 30s, the 40s, and 50s, of course. So that's one of the things I consider a good box, is if you have a good mix. If they're all from the 50s, it's like, really? But yeah, that's why I have that cheat sheet right here for pennies and stuff. I have one made up for everything, but like halves, I don't even use it. Nickels, I glance at it once in a while just to look at like mintages and stuff. The 92 is the only close one. The rest are wide. Okay. I'll probably forget that in 4 minutes, but I'll try to remember that. Oh, there's our next one from the 40s. 1946, got some gunk on his hair. Molding or something. Hey, David. Most are in the horizontal feed, so you're welcome to go over there if you'd like, or stay in the vertical. I don't think the video is working in the vertical for some reason, but the chatbot is, and the other one, the video is working and the chatbot isn't. Yeah, with me, it's weird. I sent a package out, like I was saying earlier, on B. Waller 76's channel, and it went along and then just kind of stopped and disappeared. Yeah, anytime. But yeah, it was just sitting there and like stuck. It was just went to Vegas and just said in transit for 4 days, I think it was. And then all of a sudden, the next morning, boom, it was delivered to his P.O. box. No idea why. But I sent a package to Pa for his AFSP stream. So both the video and the chatbot is working. It's weird because on mine, it's still frozen on the cans of pop that we were choosing what I was drinking tonight, seeing who was right. So then I'd sent one the same day to Pa, and his did the same thing, and it was just stuck, and it was stuck, and it was stuck. Even after B. Waller's was delivered. So it was sent out on the 12th, and on the 18th it was still sitting there. So I filed a missing mail, because they say, you know, wait a week. And it was on the 21st I filed it, and according to the tracking, that's a 41. Fanta Orange. We had to go through 2 rounds because no one had it on that was in there had guessed it. So then we had to go to round 2. But I filed a missing mail, so it was sent out. It got stuck like 2-3 days later. Nothing ever happened. I filed it supposedly at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So I don't know what system the mail uses, but it's always completely wrong. And magically, like an hour and a half later, it said it was out for delivery that day. So why it sat there in transit for 9 days, I have no idea. So just weird. Awesome. Thank you for the likes. The biggest thing is the watchtowers. That's the biggest thing that I'm focusing on. The likes and stuff just show that people are interacting, and then with chatting it shows they're interacting. But we have not found a war nickel tonight. Found a 1919, none from the 20s or 30s, and then jumped into the 40s and 50s. That one is kind of icky, but it's the 50s, 1958. Out of Philly. We've got 5 more rolls after this. Same thing as Monday, and if my kids happen to call, I'll step out for just a second. I don't think they will. I'll probably finish up before they call. But just to let you know. And it's only a couple minutes anyway, but they call every night to say goodnight. And it's interesting because when they're with me, you know, they can call their other home, but they never do. So I like it when they call. Looks like the storm's not causing a power outage. Like I said, right before I came on, it started flickering like it was browning, and then came back on, and I was like, please don't. And then the people in the chat, if you weren't here, was able to hear the thunder. And it started raining. Now there's no thunder or rain. Icky one there. and 84. I always look at them because sometimes it's like you never know what's under all that crud, like when there's junk all over it. Oh. It's number 4 of these tonight, our 4th one. 2009. I think there's like 35 million minted of those or something. So you got 4 of them now. I think this is the most I've found in a box. I think the most I've found in a box is 2. So this one I've found 4 for New Marshall. I've only found a couple 2024s. Oops. So yeah, if I come across them, it's like I'm definitely pulling them out for people. Yeah, he Monday said that he would take a box, and so he sent the money the same night on Monday to get put in the rotation. So it's one of those things that if someone wants in and they send me money, if they want on a certain night, like say, you know, hey, I want it on a Thursday night because I'll be gone on a Monday or something, that's fine. I'll put them on a Thursday rotation. Vice versa, if they only want it on a Monday night, Mondays, Thursdays don't really have much streaming on those nights. I know some do, but it seems like there's not as many that stream. And of course, you'll always be streaming when someone else is streaming. That's just the part of having people hunt. But that's what raids are for. Like if you know someone is streaming that night and you can raid it afterwards or vice versa. Some of those horrible discolored ones, it's like, what is that year under it? And so you look and it's like, oh, I don't know how it gets so awful looking in. Last roll. Like I said, I have a cardboard boxes and stuff. I just throw my wrappers in and I just break them down and throw the box away. You don't have to worry about gathering up the garbage and everything. I just go take it and throw it in the dumpster. It's weird, on 2009s I always go through and I like, you know, flick them in my hand and then I'll be like, wait a minute. And I think I always end up doing that. I don't think I ever look at it and just go, oh, 2009. Almost threw that handful in the cardboard box. Sorry, I don't want to throw away a buck's worth of nickels just for the fun of it. I haven't found any proofs lately. It's been quite a while since I found a proof. There was a box I had, I think, 2 proofs in one box. Which is strange because you don't usually come across proof nickels often. At least I don't. Alright, let's go to the Scoparoo. These are the 63 Phillies. These are the 64 Denvers. I think it wasn't too bad. Ones I thought really were the 1959, really nice one, and then 2 64s, very nice ones. That 59 I was hoping was a 39. That would have just been awesome. So let's scope some of these. The 63s, we're looking for the triple die reverse. And I always make sure I go through a couple different spots instead of just looking at like one thing. You know, looking down that cents and that sort of stuff. I've never found a triple die. I found double dies like on 40s and stuff, or halves. But not on nickels or pennies. Alright, here's all the 64 Denvers. There's one time that I found what I think is a D over D. And so most of you in here are, of course, from back in the day when now on that, do you think that's damage? Or do you think that's a D over D? That's one of those I would have to pull up and compare. But you tell me. With that off to the side, I don't know. Sometimes it's easier just to go and say, I'll flip it up and let you decide. Of course, I'm out of staples. So let me get a thing just a moment. I'm not the best with them on RPMs and stuff. But sometimes it's like the worst you can do is say possibly flip it up and then send it off and let the person doing them do some comparing on. Now let's go back up a bit. So I don't usually go down that far unless I'm looking specifically at one thing. That's a little too far up for me. A lot of times you can just go, yeah, that's damage. But it's like, why couldn't have that been on one of those really, really, really nice ones? So hopefully it is. Like I said, I'll let you do comparing. You can pull, Variety Vista, PCGS, compare them. That's what I usually end up doing if I think it might be one. And that's how I found that 64 DDO on that quarter. Because pulled it up in different sites and compared to what I had under the scope at different angles, and I'm pretty sure that's what I have found. But the funny thing is once you put it into plastic like a flip, it doesn't look like a DDO. So hopefully it is. If you do research and you find out it is, let me know. I don't think it's one to get graded. It's obviously circulated, got some dings and stuff on it, but still kind of fun to have. My thinking is if it's possible, I just write D over D question mark. Alright, we got some from the 50s. We're just going to double check. Like the 58 D over inverted D, that's a P, so that's not one. 54 has got a D over D or an S over D. Let's see if that's one. No, that's a P. 56 has got a quadruple or a triple die reverse. Obviously looking at that spot, it is very seeable, which that is not. .58, that's the D over inverted D. I don't see it. Sometimes they're so beat up and horrible that it's hard to tell. Got 10 from the 50s. See, that's just so much damage that it's just like, yeah. Even if it wasn't, it wouldn't be worth anything. I don't find many S's in these, it seems. It's always D's or P's. Last one on the 50s, Philly, okay. Any from the 40s, there are a few that we can check. 41 is a D over D, a large S, an S over S, and that is a P. 46 could be a DDR, a D over inverted D, or a DDO. That's obviously not the D. So let's see if there's a DDR. Nope. A 1940, if it's an S, there's an S over S. It's not. It's the 42 Denver. 42 Denver, there's a D over D, and that is not one that I can see. .48 doesn't have anything. 47 doesn't have anything. Actually, 48S does, but that wasn't an S, I don't think. Let me just double check. Nope, it's a D. .46 is P, I think. Yep. See if there's any DDR or anything, not that I'm seeing. The last one from the 40s, it's pretty ugly. It's a 46 also. What's weird is sometimes on those ugly ones, because of all the dirt or corrosion or whatever, sometimes it's easier to see, it seems like. All right. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the 40s. Ten from the 50s. I'm just going to write those down because I want to keep track of them later. I say 8 from the 40s, 10 from the 50s, a 19, 19, a 64 D over D possibly, and those, and then 4 2009s. There's your 4 2009s, not the greatest condition. The top one is probably the best one on that one. The worst one's probably that one, but still, 2009s. Absolutely great. Again, we'll put it under and you can see. $19.19. That is obviously a 1 and a 9. No mint mark or anything. Thought I'd show that one off again. And then this one, I got the 59. Just a really nice condition. Being from the 50s, it's pulled out. Plus, it's 11 from the 50s, I guess. And then 2 pretty nice ones that I'm just going to throw in for 1964. Very pretty decent. Hopefully one of them at least upgrades if you have. Alright, what else do I have to get you? I think we had, that one was yours, I believe. Let's move it a little bit so we can see everything. Got your silver pack sticker for you. I'm going to throw in one of these for your first time. A bottle opener keychain thing. And a pen. So far everybody has loved those pens. They are like, they write super nice. I think that's everything on that. I'm just going to test this. If it only runs on the vertical, then I will kill it and we will do a different way for an end of stream. Not sure what the likes were. I don't see that on my thing. And it looks like it's only running on the other stream, so I'm going to kill it. And we're going to use a different way. I've got the wheel of names. So I'm just going to start typing the ones I see. Got David Carlisle. Copper Owl. New Marshall. VMC. Crafty Dragon. KJ, you're still here. Captain Vic. Michael Erickson. And I'm going to change it over to this so you can see what I am doing. Let's see, we got Michael Erickson. Am I missing anybody? So I got David, Copper, New, Marshall, VMC, Crafty, KJ, Cap Vic, and Michael. Give you a few more seconds to type your name. If I haven't got you, just put wheel, WHEEL. Ooh. Light flickered. Anybody? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shuffle them up. I'm just going to randomly do them and then hit spin. In the end of stream, it'll be a copper round. Crafty Dragon. You have won. Come on down. You're the next winner of tonight's thing. Alright, so this is all his. So Crafty, I've got a handful here that I've gotten in. I'm still getting more in. But give you a rundown of some of these. We've got We the People, Second Amendment. We've got, looks like some bears with an eagle on the back and flag. Got a Don't Tread on Me with an eagle. Planes and Tanks, Safety in Numbers, with whatever that is, a fist. Got a Trump-Pence 2020. And we got a Donald Trump with an eagle. And they sent me 2 of those. So that is your options. What would you like? I am getting more in, hopefully soon. So we got the bears. And when these came, I put them immediately into capsules. whatever it is. A few might have dings, but yeah, it was just kind of a random grab bag that they just throw random ones in. So anyway, ooh, you probably saw that. I'm just going to write that. Make sure you send me an email, dadhuntscoins@gmail.com. And writing down Crafty Dragon. Okay. Put those away. Got JC Likes Pam. And Shannon Smith. You were the winners of that. Hopefully I had the right ones for you. This is all your stuff, New Marshall. I'm going to test and see if I can get away with sending them in a...
Your son is attempting to reach you on
That's
your
my
cellular
son. Give me
device.
just a minute here.
Your son is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
Hello. Okay. I'm just doing a live stream on the nickel box. Hi. Just finishing up a live stream. Cool. Sure. Oh, that'll be fun. There's a car show? Oh. Oh, okay. The one they had last year. Cool. Just work and then figure out after that. Cool. Love you too. Good night. Bye bye. Love you too. Good night. Bye. All right, I am back. Awesome. All right. So I think we've got everything for everyone. I'll get all that packed up. I appreciate you guys sticking around if you're still here. Yep, I just heard it come in. I have my different sounds for different emails and ringtones for different people, and my son chose that one for his ringtone. So it was one of those that's what he chose. All right. Seems like I'm forgetting something, but surprise, what? You overdid it. Overdid what? Yeah, that was, I think, the surprise for that copper round. I believe it was. But yeah, I'll probably stream on Monday. It sounds like I might already have one set up. We'll figure it out. But if not, like I said, you can always email me if you have a certain night you want to get in. I'm going to try to get these out. I'm thinking I can put these in a kind of like a greeting card type thing where it's a kind of cardboard, and put these in and then do a non-machinable and send it with 2 stamps. I'm going to try that, and if not, I'll send it out whatever other way. So that's a box of coins. Not too bad on that one. There you go. Any questions or anything, email me. Like I said, I'm willing to work with you if you have certain things you need for years, any of that. Or if you want to change any of those out, let me know for the copper rounds. But I appreciate you guys sticking around for 2.5 hours with almost 2 brownouts, blackouts, and snafus with chatbot. So I always go like that with my pop cans because I've grabbed empty pop cans to go to drink it before, and it's empty. So there you go. I had fun too. I like doing it. It was one of those, wasn't sure if I would, but it's pretty fun when you kind of get into the routine of doing it. So I enjoy watching streams. There's plenty out there to watch, and I appreciate you guys watching me. Just working on getting my hours up so I'll be able to do memberships and figure out that sort of thing. But that's still quite a while because I've only got about 600 hours, and I've gained 100 in the last month. So that's just off of a few times. So there you go. You guys have a nice evening. Take care. God bless. And see you on Monday, hopefully.